Sound check, 1, 1, 1, anything but that. So ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be talking about Larnitech and our products, but I thought that we should start this and finish this on a more poetic note. So let me ask you a question. When somebody says the future, what do you think of? What do you imagine? Do you imagine flying cars, traveling to Mars, maybe beyond that? Shoes that tie themselves, anything, a table that sets itself? When we at Larnitech think of the future, we think of a house that is smart, that can adjust totally to the owner's requirements, that can basically fulfill your wishes and your dreams. So the session today is called Innovative Solutions for Smart House Technologies, for the systems of Smart House. And before we, so there are two types of architecture built in the system, so to speak. There's the centralized logic system, I think I'd rather hold that. The centralized logic system, when you have the central kind of computer, the central hub that controls all of the different devices, as it's shown, well, as it's shown here, basically. And also the distributed logic, where all of the devices are interconnected. Out of these two systems, each of them has advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of the centralized system is that because there's only one hub, one computer, one central device that controls the others, it's relatively easy to set up and configure, and it's easy to change the system algorithm because we only need to change it in one place. However, in the case of a breakdown of this central hub, nothing works. So the reliability level is much lower. On the other hand, when you talk about a distributed system, which is of course used in the smart house by Larnitech, the level of reliability is higher because all of the devices communicate, talk to one another, and besides that, even though at the initial stage it's slightly more complex to install the system, for the end user it's actually simpler because it's easy to add devices, and there are several configurations that the end user, you as the owner of the smart house, can do to your system. So let's talk about distributed networks. A distributed network means that devices, as we said, interconnect with each other and talk to one another. So, for instance, a light switch talks to a light bulb, or a movement sensor detector talks to a light bulb, and they turn on the devices, the appropriate devices. So, in a partly distributed network, there is one logical unit that gathers on all the information from the sensors and the switches and relays it back to the lights and other devices. The drawback of that, and why it's a partly distributed one, if somehow this logical unit is taken out of the system, then the system is still able to perform, but the functions are going to be basic, simple, like basically that is going to be talking to this lamp, this sensor is going to be talking to that lamp. But the more complex scenarios are not going to be available. In a truly distributed system practiced by Larnitech, all of the switches and all of the devices and all of the sensors are equipped with these micro-smart units that intercommunicate. So even if you take it out, if you plug it out of the system will still be fully functional. Like that particular, so for instance, we'll take this one out, this particular switch will not work, granted, but all the others in any different combinations will. And that makes it more reliable and more stable. There are two connection types that we use in Larnitech Smart House. We talk about wireless and radio signal, wired and radio signal. And for the wireless signal, we use the mesh networks technology, which is based on the same thing as the distributed system. So there are different nodes that talk to one another, and they relay the signal in a wireless way. Now, these nodes, they can also act as the signal transmitters, because there's a certain distance where you can position them. Maybe you have a huge warehouse, okay, and you want it all to be automated. The signal cannot reach from one end of your huge warehouse to the other, so what it does is it transmits the signal via the neighbors, that then pass the signal on to the other neighbors, and finally it reaches the end of your huge building and the signal gets through. Also, we're going to talk about how it actually happens and why it's more reliable. So there are various nodes that are located in various sections of your apartment or house, and maybe we want the signal to get from point A to point I, from node A to node I. So it figures out the shortest way to do that and relays the signal to E and then gets the feedback that the signal has been received. Same way E gets the signal, it now needs to pass it on. For some reason, the signal does not reach I, so E does not receive the confirmation that the signal has been received. It tries that several times, about 10 times in fact, and then just goes on to the nearest node, to G, gets back the information that the signal has been received. G goes to I, the signal has been received by I. So A has transmitted the signal to I successfully. That's why the system is more reliable than the partly distributed network system. Now, we value your privacy and your security. The smart home system by Larnitech allows you to control your house from the distance, from your office, from anywhere in the world. If you're on a business trip, you have your tablet, you have your password, you can do anything you want. You can turn on all the lights, control all the systems, do whatever you like. And so the signal we use is encrypted, and it's the same principle that is used in the banking systems. So it is pretty safe. No one can do it unless they know the password, which only you know. This is how our software looks. Actually, we have set up a whole display, obviously, since we're participating in this fair. It's located, and I'll say this again, but it's in 12C72. We have a health stand where we have the imitation of the smart house, like the whole apartment, where you can actually come and turn on and try out all the switches and the lights. This is what the interface looks like. Also, the user can adjust. You can customize the access to a certain area. So if you don't want your kids, for instance, to enter, at the basement where you're hiding something, then you can restrict that, and they will not be able to enter without the code. But you can open it for them if you like. Then there are automation settings, and one of the things that differs us from other companies producing smart houses is that the end user, the owner of the smart home, can adjust a lot of things, really. So we can change the automation settings. We can decide when and how the lights should be turned on and off, and other systems as well. I mean, we're talking about heating, ventilation, security, everything. And those are also, I mean, you can see that. Okay, we have a video now. It did play, so where I demonstrate how it works actually, and that you will be able to do at our stand as well. I'm going to talk now. So guys, Larnitech offers you the opportunity to program your own house a little bit. For instance, you want this switch to turn on that light, and now it's not doing so. So what you need to do is take your tablet, your control panel, and you go into edit mode, and then you press this, make a long press, and then you press the button, and the system detects the button. You can see it has detected it. You press bind. Now this button is binded to this light. So you click save, and now with the press of this button you can turn the lights on and off. You can also Okay, so basically the idea is that the end user can control their own house, and they can tie any button to any switch. This is also in our demonstration stand, so please come and try it out for yourself. Yeah, so the multi-room system, the sound system, is fully integrated into the smart house. What's more, it's synced with your phone and with your Google Calendar, for example. So it gives you notifications, it gives you reminders. You can set different sound scenarios which can follow you. Like you can have the scenario when the sound or your favorite song follows you from one room onto another. It is also integrated into various scenarios that you can use. I think we're going to have scenarios soon. So in multi-room functions, you can see they're playing various videos, audio files. You can create sound zones. It interacts with the intercom, so you can actually see who is outside your front door, and you can talk to them, not necessarily being in your house. So you can do it from anywhere, and then you can let them in or let them out, or just leave them a message. And there are various scenarios where multi-room functions take part. So I'm going to demonstrate how one of the scenarios work, and you are able to try that out by yourself if you come to our booth. So when you go to work or to a party, doesn't matter, you can just press a button in your wall, or maybe a button on your tablet. It says away. It's the away scenario, so-called. And what it does, it switches off the lights and basically puts the house on energy saving mode. That's right.
All electrical devices have been turned off. The climate control system has been put into energy saving mode.
Okay, and then you can also activate the security, which is important. Then you press the security alarm button.
Enabling the security system. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Security mode activated.
Okay, and so then you can... yeah, so it's basically fun to play around. You do it at the touch of the button. It can be a wall button, or it can be a button on your tablet. But basically it does the function. So these scenarios are there are various scenarios, they're pre-programmable, and you can play with it's like a Lego. Basically it's like a Lego. The system, you can configure it in any way you like. So it's very easy to add devices. The plug and play system is in place. So when you add another device to the system, it's detected automatically. I think we're going to have another demonstration here. Yes. Various me with the beard, without the beard. Hi guys, today we're going to talk about Larnitech's plug-and-play system. Let's take a look at this desk. What we have here are two power supply units, the main one and the backup power supply unit. We also have the statistics unit that also configures our system. We also have our tablet that is going to show us what's going on. This is the 2-channel dimmer, which we're plugging into our system. And the system is going to sense that the new device has been installed, connected to it, and it's going to show us here on our tablet, and it has already. Now let's see if the lights are working. You don't see it very well in this video, but the device has appeared on your screen and wasn't there before that. Off the light. And instantly it's working. At our stand we have a similar installation, by the way. We take these two switches and the switch control unit, and we connect them to our system as well. Now, maybe we want this particular switch to control that particular light. On our tablet, we go into edit mode. We are now in edit mode. So this is what the end user can do to set up the switches and the lights according to their preference. Basic settings. Now, we need to press the switch. So when we press the switch, it's detected by the system. Switch, and we need to bind it to the light that we have chosen, and we need to save it. Now, the switch controls the button. We can also do the same thing for one switch to control two buttons, or any number of functions. The long press, go in edit mode, go to basic settings, it's already basic. Press the switch, it's detected here. When you press it for the first time, the system detects the switch. And now this switch controls this light, that switch controls that light. Very good. Moving on, this is a multi-sensor device, Larnitech's development. It detects levels of motion, humidity, temperature, and lighting. We connect it to our system here, and we go to the sensor section. Okay, now the system is going to detect our multi-sensor device. It has, as we can see, it works. So this is the motion level, changes, doesn't move around. Now let's see what we can do with this. We go. So again, you just plug the device in there. The system detects it. We go to our. You tie it to a particular light section, and let's see. Maybe we want to set up the automation settings for the light, when it should be turned on, and when it should be turned off, under which conditions. So let's take a long press here. Now we don't need the basic. We go to automatization, auto, and we are concerned with turning on and turning off the light. Let's see, so right now, it's going to be turned on at the motion of level of 30%. Maybe we want to... So you can change, well, but basically this explains that you can set the time when the certain light should react to the sensor signal. The turn it off mode. Okay, now it's at 30 minutes, which is a very long time. We want it at 3 seconds. Go back to 3 seconds. Okay, and then we press save. So now, what's going to happen is... Okay, so it did work. Okay, there's two of them. Now, this one demonstrates the reliability of the system. So what happens if you take some key elements out? So the system has been configured. Let's see what happens if we take out the central